brain!
Where on earth is Carmen Sandiego?
Where is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, where on earth can she be? Tell me where is Carmen Sandiego? Carmen Sandiego, where on earth can she be? Where on earth can she be? Mona Lisa, Timbuktu, can you help us find it?
In our last episode, Carmen Sandiego broke into a top-secret Russian lab. Timing is everything.
You have 10 seconds, Carmen.
And made a clean getaway with everything she needed to build her own time machine.
Which was all part of Carmen's greatest plot ever, to travel back in history and steal things that no longer exist.
Wow, it disappeared.
But that began to change history.
What the heck's that flag on the State House?
It's the Queen of England's royal standard.
Yeah, like the United States never became the United States and stayed part of the British Empire.
I just can't seem to control this ballet accent slipping all over the place. Look, I'll do a systems check. Back after these messages. Tally-ho, sorry.
So while the chief started talking like Sting,
We used Acme's very own time-hopping gizmo, the Chrono Skimmer, to zip through the ages and try to straighten everything out.
the Chrono Skimmer works. We've gone back in time, Zach.
Colonial rebels, seize them!
I don't believe this!
Run!
First we found out Paul Revere, who was supposed to be a humongous hero,
Was now, thanks to Carmen's interference, a total outcast.
traitor!
We trusted you! It was your responsibility to warn us the British were coming!
Carmen had somehow kept Paul from making his midnight ride.
And you fell off your horse.
I've told it, neighbors. My horse stumbled and I with him. I could not warn the colonists as I promised.
And that changed the course of the American Revolution.
But Carmen wasn't finished. She time-traveled back even farther in history, crashing the Boston Tea Party.
Look, there's a redcoat aboard.
That's no redcoat!
That's Carmen Sandiego! Then Carmen headed to Philadelphia.
Just as Ben Franklin began his famous experiment.
And stole the key right off his kite.
Woman, I say, what's the meaning of this?
All modern technology started fading away, including the Acme mainframe.
Alarm, alarm. It's a system warning. We'll run with the system. Fair weather.
And now, if we don't get that key back from Carmen,
We'll be trapped in history forever! Carmen's getting away with Ben's key!
hang on, little bro!
Whoa! we have to do is get it back to you-know-who.
Astounding. A carriage which does not require a horse. A horseless carriage, as it were. Truly, truly astounding, but certainly not as astounding as you two. Who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here?
Chill out, Ben. We've got your key.
Chill out?
Yeah, get with the program. You've got to finish your experiment before the storm passes.
My research into the nature of electricity hardly seems important just now, but...
It's more than important, Ben. If you don't fly that kite, the future of America will turn out all wrong. Trust me.
Ivy's right. See, you're part of a chain of famous inventors. The future of all technology is based on what you guys discover.
But none of the others can invent what they're supposed to invent unless you continue your experiment.
You're not following any of this, are you?
Well, actually, no.
Never mind. Let's just get that kite in the air.
Aha! My hypothesis was correct. Lightning is a powerful form of electricity.
Yes! Ben's done it! The Chief's back online!
Yes! Technology's restored. Come in, Chief.
By Jove, the Acme Detective Agency is back in business, smashing, eh, Wat?
But it looks like the good old USA is still very, very British.
And it looks like Carmen's back in the time-traveling business.
Remember, no matter how hard you try, detectives, time conquers all. But Carmen conquers time.
Amazing!
What are we gonna do now?
Well, I always say, if you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, you should either write things worth reading or do things worth writing. And in this case, I'd say the latter is best. You must complete your quest and capture this Carmen Sandiego person.
Ben's right, Zach, and maybe we can get history back on track if we travel to December 16th, 1773 again.
The Boston Tea Party? But Carmen's already stolen the tea.
But what if we go 5 minutes before she stole it? Maybe we can stop her and make things right.
Well, congratulations, kids. You have just won an all-expense-paid trip from Colonial Philadelphia to Colonial Boston.
Hey, it's King George III.
Could we talk about our tea taxes?
No.
Boy, no wonder the colonists were mad. He didn't give them any say in how they were governed.
Yeah, he made them mad enough to dump all that English tea into the Boston Harbor.
No taxation without representation! No taxation without representation!
Which is what the Boston Tea Party was really all about. Quit fooling around, Zach. We have to find Carmen's henchmen.
No problemo. Look.
All right. We flashed back to the moment before Carmen attached the turbines to the ship.
Whatever we're gonna do, we better do it fast. The Sons of Liberty are on the march.
Follow me.
Ivy, check it out. That horseshoe is... Ah!
Could you possibly make a little more noise?
Ivy, if Carmen stole that shoe from Paul Revere's horse, that would explain why he fell and didn't complete his ride.
Oh, you could be right. We gotta get it.
It's almost tea time. Hold it right there, Ivy. Just what do you think you're doing?
What did the famous inventor Benjamin Franklin prove about the properties of lightning? Benjamin Franklin proved that lightning was a powerful form of electricity.
Stop her! Time to rock and roll.
action, Zach. It's time to rock it and roll.
That must be the signal. Let's go!
Nice attack, Zach.
Hey, you didn't do so bad yourself.
Well done, detectives. That's one for you. Maybe I'll give you a ring sometime, and we'll play again.
There goes Carmen, back into time.
And here come the Sons of Liberty right on time.
We did it! The Boston Tea Party is history like it's supposed to be.
That's one down, but we still got to figure out where Carmen is headed and get Paul Revere's horseshoe back.
Well, we know she's returning to 1752. I saw it on the time machine's control panel.
And so far, she's taken the key from Ben Franklin's kite and the shoe from Paul Revere's horse.
Want to bet her next target is probably another American icon?
She brought Pearl Diver back to help hide the tea in Japan. Maybe there's a reason she brought Al Loy with her, too.
Player, access CrimeNet files on henchman Al Loy.
Al Loy is a metallurgical menace who began his criminal career at age 7, counterfeiting subway tokens. He quickly graduated to hijacking ore shipments, robbing steel mills, and burglarizing foundries. He was into heavy metal. But despite the fact that Al earned a PhD in metallurgy while in prison, he still specializes in making off with metal.
Well, the main things foundries produced in 1752 were anchors, cannons, and bells.
Remember what Carmen said about giving us a ring? Maybe she meant a ring as in bell.
But what bell?
Think, the symbol of American independence, Ivy, the Liberty Bell.
But the Liberty Bell still exists in the future. Why would Carmen come all the way to the past to steal it?
Player, info scan the Liberty Bell. Check it out, Ivy. Today's Liberty Bell has a crack, but when it was first cast in 1752, it didn't have a crack.
Carmen could be out to steal the original uncracked Liberty Bell.
Hear ye, hear ye! When Philadelphia's city fathers decided the State House needed a new bell, they gave the job to the Whitechapel Bell Foundry in London.
Let's check it out. It could be Carmen's next stop.
Chrono Skimmer, get us to the Whitechapel Foundry in London, 1752.
Jolly good fun, this time travel, eh, what? After all, how else could one travel from 1773 Boston to 1752 London, which, incidentally, was the capital of the British Empire, quite the largest empire of its time, don't you know? And home of such landmarks as Westminster Abbey, the Tower of London, and St. Paul's Cathedral.
Looks nice enough. How come so many people wanted out of England in 1752?
If you couldn't pay your bills back then, your whole family would be thrown into jail.
Yeah, that's right. And if you didn't go to the right church, you and your family could be in big trouble.
Which is part of why so many people wanted to leave England and move to America. The Whitechapel Foundry and Carmen's time machine. And here's the shoe from Paul Revere's horse. Thank you very much. First, we find the Liberty Bell and...
Look!
That's far enough. Let's tie it off and get the crate.
Any ideas?
Well, like I always say, when push comes to shove, shove hard!
Move that elbow!
Zach, watch out! Zach!
The Liberty Bell is currently on display in what American city? Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, or Boston? Today, the Liberty Bell can be seen in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
One rescue coming right up.
Okay, so I lost the Chrono Skimmer. I still got the shoe from Paul Revere's horse.
No matter, detectives. While you're hanging around here forever, I'll I'll just go through time and steal the horseshoe all over again.
Carmen's right. Now we're stuck in 18th century London. No pizza, no videos. What am I talking about? There's not even TV.
Zach, get a grip. If I'm right, everything is... cool.
Way to go, sis. Now get us back to April 18th, 1775.
I don't believe it! Same thing happened last time we stole this horseshoe.
Fancy meeting you here. Well, maybe not so fancy. Wow.
Let go, my brother!
Sheesh. Bingo! Yeah, great work, sis!
I agree, Ivy. Good work. You beat me this time, but then I have lots of time. All the time in the world.
Hey!
No, you don't!
As you said earlier, wanna bet?
Oh, that's perfect. Now we have no idea where she's headed.
Would you believe back to the present?
How can you be so sure of that?
This is the chrono chip Carmen stole in Russia. She can only go one way, straight home.
British are coming! The British are coming!
Yes, we did it! We beat Carmen, and Paul Revere is on his way.
About that, we still have his horseshoe, remember?
And if Paul takes off without it, history's just gonna keep repeating itself. Let's settle up, partner.
I hate the way you drive these things!
There he is!
And there he goes!
Whoa, boy! Make sure he's okay.
Please, come back. I must borrow your horse too.
Hey, easy there, Paul. That was some header.
Now I'll never complete my ride to warn the colonists the British are coming.
Oh, buddy, you're gonna do it. There's a lot more people counting on you than you'll ever know. Trust me, horsey. I know what I'm doing. Sorta.
Strange. I have the feeling I met you both somewhere, but I can't quite put my finger on...
No time to reminisce now, Mr. Revere. You gotta get history back on track.
I beg your pardon?
You gotta get back on the track to history.
The British are coming! The British are coming!
The British are coming! The British are coming!
There he goes, headed off to Lexington and into history.
Do you think this means American history will return to normal, sis?
Player, info scan the location of the Liberty Bell in modern times.
Oh, say, can you see? I'm the way I'm supposed to be. Oh, I'm back. I'm American. I'm alive. And the Liberty Bell is where it's supposed to be. On display in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.
Well, everything looks okay.
And the chief sounds normal? For the chief, that is. Did we pull it off?
Only one way to find out. Future, ready or not, here we come.
Proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto the inhabitants thereof. Yes! We can relax, Zach. Everything's back the way it should be.
Thanks to Acme's little old chrono skimmer.
Like Ben Franklin might say, a stitch in time saves the good old US of A.
Ivy, the chrono skimmer, it's gone.
Uh-oh. I have a real bad feeling about this.
My detectives closed the door to the past, Carmen. You'll never leave present time again.
Never say never, player. See you next crime. And maybe in another time.